Welcome. This is David Boles' Human Meme, the Blooper Edition. I've been doing this Human Meme podcast for a month or so, and I've made a lot of mistakes. But I only recently started to save them to share with you in a blooper show like this one. Now, these bloopers are the real thing. They're not set up or planned or scripted. They show you how I am working alone, trying to be relevant and funny and non-stupid. But first, we've made some upgrades to this podcast on a technical end that I'd like to share with you now. We are using a new Neumann Seinfeld KMS 105MT microphone. It's made in Germany. It's not a character on TV. We have excellent voice reproduction. Do you notice a difference? As well, we have a new mixer. It's a USB Pre 2 made by Sound Devices. It's quite a fine fit for the price. Tiny, small, USB powered, a perfect fit for my MacBook Pro. I also have a new boom arm for the microphone. This one is from K&amp, and it rivals anything I've ever used in a professional radio broadcast. It's supple and well-suited, and it stays put. The other boom arm was too short to box with God. There's an insider theater joke right there for you. Finally, we have a new portable recorder, the Tascam DR-100MKII Mark II, with XLR inputs and phantom power for the Neumann microphone. This will let us more easily go on the road for location broadcast and in-person interviews. We're still using Hijack Pro on my MacBook Pro for recording, and Fission for editing, and Libsyn is still our podcast syndicator. Now, on with the bloopers! But first, these bloopers will prove to be a valuable A/B testing device between the microphone I'm using now, the Neumann KMS 105MT, and the Audio-Technica AT2020 USB I was previously using in this podcast. Setting levels and finding the right range for how close to get to your microphone is important. So, as our first blooper, here's some testing. Oh, and the 1290 coil radio call-out you hear is from my childhood. That radio station was Boss Radio of Omaha. That meant lots of reverb on the voice, playing oldies from the 50s and 60s, and a lot of really fine generational talent came out of that place. Unfortunately, the station had a lot of FCC violations in the 1970s, and every second of their on-air time had to be recorded on a dedicated, super slow, reel-to-reel machine. Omaha's original rocker was their slogan that still sings inside me today. This is a test. This is only a test on the mighty 1290 coil radio. In the haunting of the man, mighty 1290 coil radio, in the haunting of the man. In my disability podcast, I was trying to refer to a previous podcast with a certain Latin title. It did not go well. In my Omni Trium Perfectum, The Rule of Three podcast, I visited Freud's The Theme of the Three Caskets, and how the lead casket Ay, ay, ay. In the same disability podcast, my end-of-summer allergies were acting up and slowing me down, as you'll now witness. And please, bring a tissue. So we see even in our economic strains, the erosion of the self of us in a reflexive society is also evidenced in how we view and help and work with the disability. In my curation podcast, a recurring technical theme, I mean glitch, not theme, reared its ugly head to browbeat me in the form of some sort of static charge that sometimes only I hear, but sometimes you can hear as well. Curation is divine intervention. And oh my God, just that terrible sound. Wow. In my Starless Eye podcast, sometimes I get ahead of myself and get clunky and run out of breath. My friend, their mother, did not raise her children. She left that to the professional hired help because she wanted, the walking. In the same Starless podcast, I again trip over my own well-being and dissolve into chatting with myself. My friend quietly realizes, without confession, that she has become nothing outside the shadow of her husband. And for an innate winner, in my American Gargoyle podcast, getting the tone of the story just right was vital. But sometimes that meant I wasn't paying attention to the words I was supposed to be atoning. "You're hurting me," said the child, as the gargoyle dug his foot deeper into her eye socket, pinning her to the ground. Oh boy, that's a mistake. Oof. In the Tomorrow Matters podcast, I once again trip over my own spit and then throw in a few coughs to throw myself off the path, even more on the road to my own incompetency. Yes, we never live for today, for it is only tomorrow that offers us a chance at the immortal life, where we exist beyond our bodies and marrow. Do that one over. Sometimes there's a word that will just always trip you up no matter what. Adorer is one for me, and you may hear just that in the Great Boot Sock Podcast. Oh, and boot sock looks and sounds great to the eye on the page, but pronouncing it was a more treacherous matter. Upon graduation, the great boot sock took a local job in his high school neighborhood, managing a small credit union. He was able to repay his adorers. Take two. 3, 2, 1. Upon graduation, the great boot sock took a local job in his high school neighborhood, managing a small credit union. He was able to repay his adorers with small loans that made their day and helped move their paychecks into actually being something to afford. That's even worse. Is it Bernie Baby or Beanie Baby? Don't ask me. I'm just trying to get through a 10-text podcast edition. Unfortunately for Beanie, her mother and the world beyond were day people, and they would not have Bernie. Beanie. Here's another audio level setting task. It usually happens when something changed in the room, like fan noise or some other niggling little bit like construction work above me. This is a test. Thank you so very much. Hello, bye-bye, and bye bonds. In the Art of Yearning podcast, we lost power. That happens quite a bit on the East Coast in the summertime, and I couldn't quite figure out what happened because I was in total darkness. But what I was doing directly in front of me was fine. The podcast and the laptop and everything else was still recording. It was all battery powered. Yearning man. Oh my gosh, what's going on? All the power just went out. We're in the dark. I don't even know if we're still recording because we have no power. Oh boy. Where are we? Oh, here we are. Can't continue without any power. In the same Yearning podcast, the static we met before arrived again. Static. In the Clefcorn and Stubblefield podcast, the static problem returns. This time, only I'm hearing it. Welcome. This is David Boles, Human Meme. Today, Clefcorn and Stubblefield. Why is that buzzing? Continuing the Clefcorn podcast, I struggled with the pronunciation of Professor of English. Charles was a professor of English. Ay, ay, ay. If you can't get it right the first time, keep trying. And don't make any changes to help make it work, okay? Take 2. Charles Stubblefield was a professor of English. Did it again. Well, I finally fixed that blooper by finally pronouncing it the way I'd actually written it on the page. English professor. Now you know. Hey, looking back on these early bloopers is fun and ridiculous. I wish I had some bloopers from the first 10 shows, but I recorded that gang of 10 on my iPhone 6 Plus and just tended to keep going if I made an error. Now we're a little more polished and straight on, and so perfection becomes tremulous. I'll keep saving these blooper conversations with myself if they continue to provide some fun and insight into how this podcast is produced. If you like what you've heard so far across this Human Meme podcast series, I encourage you to subscribe via iTunes. There's a link on humanmeme.com at the top of the page, and maybe give us a 5-star review and a grand written review in iTunes. It's important. All that helps keep us alive and percolating with new ideas for the sharing and the propagating, all along, inside and outside the uncanny valley. Thank you for listening. Be a human meme.